The music played softly through the marble hallways of the Sterling International Tower, a building as cold and polished as the man who owned it. Billionaire Ethan Sterling, a single father, was known for two things: building a global tech empire from nothing and fiercely protecting his only daughter, Lily. Rumors swirled about his icy demeanor, his tragic past, and the iron grip he held over his empire. But what no one knew, what even Ethan himself had forgotten, was how much he needed a little bit of magic to warm the walls of his world. That magic came, unexpectedly, from a young woman named Ava. Ava Linton had been working as an administrative assistant for barely 3 weeks. She was new to the city, bright-eyed and hopeful, still carrying dreams stitched with struggle. Her mother had passed away the year before, leaving Ava to care for her younger brother, Max, who had Down syndrome. She worked 2 jobs, mornings at Sterling Tower and evenings waiting tables. Barely sleeping, barely eating, but always smiling. It wasn't fake, she had trained herself to find joy in small things. A warm coffee, her brother's laugh, a stranger's smile. And most of all, dancing. Every day, when everyone had left and the 40th floor was quiet, Ava would sneak into the break room. With only the cleaning crew in sight, she'd plug in her headphones and dance, twirling across the glossy floors, letting go of the weight she carried. It was never for anyone else. Just for herself. Just to breathe. One evening, Lily Sterling, 6 years old and heartbreakingly lonely, was wandering the halls while her father worked late. She saw Ava spinning, laughing silently, lost in her rhythm. She didn't say a word, just sat on the edge of a chair and watched with wide, curious eyes. Ava froze when she noticed the girl. But instead of running, Lily clapped. "Do it again," the little girl whispered with a sparkle Ava hadn't seen in years. From that day forward, Lily became her secret audience. Every evening, for 10 minutes before the night crew arrived, Ava would dance, and Lily would watch, often trying to mimic her moves. They didn't talk much, just smiles and giggles and the sound of quiet music. One night, Ethan caught them. He had stayed later than usual. Exhausted and irritated from a failed investor meeting, he turned the corner expecting silence. Instead, he saw his daughter laughing, a sound he hadn't heard in months, and a young woman twirling gracefully, unaware of her billionaire boss's presence. He didn't say anything at first. Just watched. The next morning, Ava received a call from HR. Her heart dropped. She was sure she'd be fired. What would happen to Max? Their rent was due. Her heart pounded as she entered the office, but instead of a termination letter, she found a note. "Mr. Sterling would like to see you. Now." She climbed the elevator with trembling hands, expecting the worst. But what she found wasn't anger. Ethan stood by the floor-to-ceiling window, Lily by his side, her small hand clutched in his. "She talks about you," he said, turning to Ava. "Every night. She says you dance like happiness." Ava blinked, unsure how to respond. "She hasn't spoken this much since her mother passed away," he added, his voice cracking slightly. "She said, you remind her of her." A silence fell. Heavy. Fragile. Then, Lily tugged at her father's sleeve. "Can Ava come to my party?" Ethan looked at Ava. "It's this Saturday. We're having a big celebration at the manor. Most employees bring their kids. You're welcome." Ava nodded slowly, still trying to process what was happening. Saturday came. She wore her only nice dress, an old lavender thing her mother once wore to church. She braided Lily's hair, helped with decorations, and even taught a small dance to the kids. For the first time in years, Ethan laughed, really laughed. Watching his daughter twirl hand in hand with Ava. The room felt different. Warmer. Human. But the moment that changed everything happened when Ethan asked Ava to dance. She hesitated. "Sir, I'm just the assistant." "No," he replied softly. You're the only one who made my daughter smile again. As they danced under the soft golden lights, the staff looked on, whispering. Cameras clicked. Some thought it was a joke. Others, a scandal. But no one could deny the look in Ethan's eyes, one of gratitude, softness, and maybe something deeper. The next day, tabloids went wild. Billionaire dances with assistant at daughter's party. Who is she? Single dad's heart melts in public. Is love in the air? Ava didn't care. She went back to work like normal. Until Ethan called her in again. I want to offer you something, he said, sliding a folder across the table. Ava opened it. It was a scholarship. For Max. I did some digging. Your brother, he deserves better care. Better education. I've already spoken to a school that specializes in kids like him. Full tuition. Transportation. Medical. Her hands shook. I can't accept this. You already gave us something priceless. You reminded me of joy. You gave Lily hope. Please, let me return something. Tears welled up in her eyes. Thank you. I don't know what to say. Just say you'll keep dancing, Ethan said with a smile. Weeks turned to months. Ava became more than an assistant, she became family. Not through gossip or grandeur, but through everyday acts of kindness. She took Lily to school, taught her bedtime dances, helped Ethan rediscover life outside boardrooms and balance sheets. And one crisp fall evening, during a quiet charity event hosted at the Sterling estate, Ethan stood at the podium and said, There was a time I thought I had everything, but I was living in silence. Then a young woman danced into our lives. She didn't come asking for anything. She just shared her joy. And in doing so, she gave us everything. He paused, turning to where Ava stood, holding Lily's hand. Tonight, I'm not just grateful for her. I'm in awe of her. The crowd rose in applause, but Ava's eyes were only on Lily, who whispered, You're my fairy. Ava knelt and hugged her tightly. No, sweetie. You're mine. From boardrooms to ballrooms, from quiet break-room twirls to grand stages, Ava's journey was never about wealth or status. It was about the quiet power of kindness, the magic in movement, and the beauty of being seen, not by the world, but by the hearts that matter most. In a city built on success and steel, it was a simple dance that reminded everyone what truly lasts: connection, compassion, and the courage to keep dancing, even when no one's watching.